where would you want to spend time? What would you want to do differently? If you could press pause on one thing, what would you start doing? Or what would you do more of? And I want you to really think about this because, time goes fast. When I think about my 18-year-old going off to school. Welcome to the Matt Phillips Podcast. I am Matt Phillips, your sales leadership coach, mental toughness expert, and founder of Matt Phillips Coaching. Oh, welcome back to the podcast. It is Matt, and today I have an announcement for you. Something I am super excited about, a little sad about, but more excited than sad for sure. And that announcement is this. I have decided that for the next couple months during the summer, we are going to take a break from the podcast. We are pressing pause on this podcast because of something I'm super excited about. Right. One thing that I have learned over my years is that time is the most precious resource that we have. You know it. I know it. We did a podcast a while ago on ROT, return on time. Where are you spending your time? Why are you spending your time there? We've done multiple podcasts on it because I cannot tell you how many times I hear that, like, I know I should be doing this, or I wish I was doing this, but I don't because of time. And a lot of times we don't take the time. We need to take the time, all these sorts of things. Well, we decided to take time a little bit differently over the summer because we have an 18-year-old who is graduating high school and going off to college for the first time. And we've decided that it's more important that, the time I take doing this podcast, that while I'll keep interviewing people and preparing for when we return in September, I've decided it's better use to, just do things with the family, right? And go paddleboarding or spend more time together because now things are about to shift for us. Right. Our first one going off to college. Now the dynamic in the house changes with 2 left instead of 3. Yeah, she's going to return, I'm sure, for breaks and all those sorts of things, but it's going to be different. And so we wanted to take a little more time for that. Right. It's trading one thing for another thing. And it's trading, in this case, one amazing thing for another amazing thing. We just decided it's time to do that. And so today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this and tell you why we're doing it and all these sorts of things and leave you with a challenge today for you. And, you'll still get emails from us, right? About, our 60 seconds of motivation, some other things. But I think we all have these choices in our life, right? And in a lot of the coaching sessions that I do, time's the biggest issue that we have, right? All the priorities, all the goals, making the vision a reality. That's personally and professionally. It's working out, eating right. It's spending time with your loved one, going on date night, spending time with each kid. Right? All these things, we're constantly fighting time. And we have a choice every single day of what we do with it. We really do. We have that choice. And sometimes we feel pressure to keep doing things because we feel like we have to or we need to. And with this podcast, for example, I love doing it. It's not something like I feel like, oh my gosh, like I have to do a podcast. No, I'm like, oh, awesome. We get to record the podcast. I get to interview someone today. This is going to be awesome. I think the audience is going to love it. My team's going to love it, right? I look very much forward to it. But at the same time, I have a choice just like everyone else, right? Of where do I want to spend my time and how do I want to spend it? And that's why this decision's so important for us for the next couple months, these 3 months, to press pause so I can spend time somewhere else. And that's my really challenge for you is to think right now for you, if you could take a 3-month summer break like me, and I'm still working, by the way. It's not like I'm sitting on a beach sipping Mai Tais all the time. I'll be working. But where would you want to spend time? What would you want to do differently? If you could press pause on one thing, what would you start doing? Or what would you do more of? And I want you to really think about this because, time goes fast. When I think about my 18-year-old going off to school, firstborn child, right? She was born in Switzerland. She was 4 months old when we moved back to the U.S. But just when I think back to all the memories we have just with her, right, of Shannon, my wife, being pregnant in Switzerland and getting to experience that. And, she had a C-section with Madeline and, she had a week in the hospital, which is standard. Like she was perfectly fine, baby, mom, great. But that's just the care that they have for the women who are giving birth, right? Is like, take your time getting set, getting rested before you take the baby home. And then I remember we took Madeline home, and man, she was great until about 10 p.m. that first night. And then basically screamed until about 3 a.m. I wanted to take a quick break from the podcast to invite you to something very special that we're up to at Matt Phillips Coaching. It's what we call the High Performance Leadership Program. Now, we know that leading people can be challenging. It also can be extremely rewarding. And one thing that I found as you progress in leadership and want to take that next level, get that promotion, continue to move up the ladder, is you have to continually invest in yourself. And you have to set yourselves apart from other people. And you have to continue to not only grow as a leader, but you have to grow your mental toughness, your mindset, because that is the one true differentiator. That's exactly why we built the High Performance Leadership Program, to come alongside you on a monthly basis, to give you the tools, training, and resources, and coaching with me to help you elevate your performance. So I invite you to head over to mattphillipscoaching.com/membership and join us today in the High Performance Leadership Program. Let's make your dreams and your career and your business a reality. And we had forgotten this, but at 7 a.m, there's a knock on the door. And we're like, who's knocking at 7 a.m? And I open the door and I'm like, oh, how cool is this? They sent out, and they do this standard, they send out a midwife to check on the baby and check on mom the day after you've been home. And as soon as we opened the door, I remember her saying, she looked right at me and she goes, rough night? I'm like, yes, please come in. And that, to have her check out Madeline and make sure she was doing good, and then check out Shannon and make sure she was doing good, and just give us a perspective. I remember she said, she goes, just remember that tonight will be better than last night. And the night after that will be better, because your baby is adjusting to new sounds and new smells and new light and all these things that she's not used to. And so just keep that in mind, of she's making adjustments just like you guys are. And it was so comforting, because, that next night was better. And then the night after that was better, as we learned to become parents, and we learned to, she learned to become a little human being, right? But we're learning each other. And now 18 years later, she's going to go off on this next big adventure for her and spread her wings. And I'm so excited for her to do that. Yeah, obviously it'll be sad, but I'm more excited for her to go figure out what's next for her and meet new people and experience new things. I think it's going to be just incredible for her. And with that said, I want to make sure that the summer before, we got some time to spend with each other and hanging out, and just me being around, right? Is amazing things happen when you're just present in the moment, present in the house. And even if it's a, really small thing when they walk by you, or when you're sitting at dinner, it's like, I don't want to miss those over the next 3 months. And so when I look back at this, right, and then I look, I should say, further, and then we've got the 2 other kids, and they're honestly not that far behind, and it's going to go really, really fast. I mean, this year has gone fast. I mean, it's June right now. So it's like, where are the first 6 months or 5.5 months gone of this year? It's like crazy when you think about it. And so that's why we're deciding to take a break for a short period of time. Then we'll pick it back up again. But here's my challenge for you. I wonder, for you, if you could take a 3-month break, take the summer off. Maybe not all the way off, right? Because like I said, I'm working. We got lots of stuff to do. We got lives to change. And I'll keep doing that. But I wonder if there was one thing, if you could switch something, if you could change something, if you could say no to something and start something new, or you could press pause on something and really dive deep into, something else. Maybe it's personally. What would that thing be? Where do you need to start making some adjustments? Where do you need to, put out a podcast episode like me and say, hey, everybody, I'm taking a pause on this so I can do that? Such a cool question to ask. And it's something I wrestled with, because it's hard to give up something you love, right? I love doing this podcast. I love interviewing people. I love making sure that every week we've got something ready for all of you to listen to. But I also know it's super important that I take this pause for a minute to enjoy what we get to do, right? By pressing pause, I'm going to get to go to Dallas with the family for another volleyball tournament and spend time with the family. And that's awesome. And that's incredible. And I'm going to choose to do that. But what's that one thing for you? And I urge you to do it, to rip the Band-Aid off, to take a chance. Because what I found, and just like this podcast, right, we're taking a little bit of a pause, but we're going to be back. We're going to pick up right where we left off, and I'm going to have as much fire and energy as I do every single time. And the same thing is true of you. So that's my challenge as I say, hey, goodbye for now. Goodbye for the next just couple months. I'll see you very soon. You'll hear me very soon, but it's not for a little bit. Time is the most precious commodity. So with that, I'm going to keep this short and sweet today. I know you got lots to do. I know you got lots to figure out of what you're going to do over the summer to either stop doing or start doing. And that's what I want you to really start diving in and thinking about right now. So if you need me, you know where to reach us. Shoot us an email over at the team at mattphillipscoaching.com. We're always here for you. We're always working behind the scenes. And I cannot wait to see you and talk to you again as soon as we get our daughter off to college. So with that, truly appreciate you, your time, your energy, your effort, everything that you're doing. Continue to kill it over the summer. And I will see you, or you'll hear from me on this podcast here in a couple months. Have a great rest of your day, great week, and we'll see you very soon. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on the Matt Phillips Podcast. If you are like us, we know that you are here to do great things, to become the sales leader that makes things happen and drives big time sales results. We know you have that big vision, and we are here to help get you where you want to go. We're here to help you develop that unstoppable, rock solid leadership skill set and help you train to master the one true differentiator, mental toughness. We would love to be part of your journey. So if you are ready, head over to mattphillipscoaching.com and check out the ways that we can help. As always, please share this episode and make sure you subscribe by clicking the button below. Thank you again. And now, go crush the day.